Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So in today's video we are going to create an app which is basically like this, where you can see how you can split the bill between your friends, and if there is any tip is also added to that bill, so you can make that calculation and divide the bill as per the number of people. So for example, if you are going to some restaurants and your bill is 1000 and you are the two people and you want to see how much bill is there per person. So currently if you give no tip, which is 0, then this color will change to red. Just for the funny part of this video, I have changed this to red when the tip is 0. You can see that if you select any other part, it will not change the color, and then it will also show the amount per person. So two persons 1000 bill is 500 each, so it's like that. But if you give some 10%, then it will add the 10% of 1000, that is 100 rupees extra to the bill, rupees or dollar here, and then it will show the amount per person, so it will be $550. Like this, if you increase the tip, it will also increase the bill. So this app we are going to see how you can create in SwiftUI, which is very easy. Also this UI creation is also very easy using the form. So let's get started and see how we can do this. So again, we will create a new export beta project here. Select app, let's name it as vSplit. In this video actually I have learned this app I have learned from 100 days of SwiftUI, which is from Paul Hudson. Make sure you check his website, Hacking with Swift. Then let's save over this on the desktop. Also I will mention the link for the Paul Hudson website in the description, so make sure you go through that website. Okay, let's click this resume and we can start. So as you can see here, we need different properties, like for storing our total amount, check amount, number of people, and what is the tip percentage we have to add. So let's start by creating those properties. Also this tip percentage array here we have to give. Then we need to create total amount based on the calculation. Also we need to give the final amount per person. So let's start by creating that. So we'll first create those properties. So I will say first as at state private var. First I will say that check amount, which will be this one, which is our actual bill. Then I'm giving it string because I have to display that here inside the text field, so that's why string. Then let's copy this to save our time, and we can just paste it and create those next three properties, which is one is number of people, which is by default we'll give 2. Then tip percentage, so let's give it as, we can say this will be actually an array. It will select a value from this array, so by default I will give 2 so that it will select 20% tip by default. And then at the last we need tip percentages, which is our array of tips, which is going from 10, 15, 20, 25 or 0. So now we have these three things ready. Now we can focus on this total amount. So to calculate the total amount, we need to do some calculations. Let's do that. Var total amount, which will be of type double. And for doing this calculation, we need to do first, we have to take the tip selection which user has selected. So I will say tip selection equals to double of my tip percentages from this what the user has selected, that is tip percent, which is he has selected 1 2 3 4. By default it is 2, means 20. Now I've got the tip selection by the user. Now let me take the order amount, so it will be nothing but double of my check amount. If this is okay, else we need to pass some value, so I will pass 0 by default. So we have the tip, we have the amount, which is the total bill, Now we want to calculate the tip percentage, so for that I will say let tip value equals to my order amount divided by 100 and this multiplied by my tip selection, so it will give me that. And now I need to find the actual grand total which is paid by the user, which is order amount plus my tip value, and I have to just return this, return grand total. Let me just remove the extra spacing here, let me just clear this, let me just move up. Okay, so now we have this and order amount here. I just need to make some spacing or issue. Let me just rebuild this to check if everything is fine. Okay, there is some error in our code. Okay, it's running here fine. Okay, looks like everything is okay. We can go ahead and we can now focus on this part where I have to calculate the view. So we can create this view now, or before that we can check this part where I have to calculate the total per person. So let's do that. For that I will create one more property where total per person, and it will be again type of double. And in this also we need to take few things, like here I first need to check people count, and it will be again I need to convert this to double, and here I will say integer from my number of people. If this is there it's okay, else I will say 0 plus 2, because by default I will take for 2. Then also below this I need to do the tip selection, so let's copy this from here. It will be tip percentage or tip selection, so let's paste it here. Also we need to get the order amount which is same like this, so let's copy this again and paste it down here. Also after amount I need to calculate the tip value and grand total, so let's copy this part again and paste it here. And now at the last we need to calculate the amount per person, so I will say let amount per person equals to grand total divided by people count. It will give me the amount person, and that is what I need, so I will just return this amount per person. So now we have done our calculation. Now I can focus on the view, so let's create that here inside our body. So first I need to add a navigation view, then after this navigation view I need to create a form, and inside form we need to give different sections. Now here you can see 1 2 3 4 5 section we needed. So let's start. So the first section is like this, where there is no title for our section, no header you can say, and inside this I need one text field, and this text field will have one placeholder which is amount, and we need to pass the text as our check amount. So let's say check amount, and let's give this our text field a keyboard type which will be dot decimal pad. Okay, so that we'll see only the numbers. So this is our first section. Let me just click resume here so you can see what is happening here. Let's remove the extra spacing. Okay, so now you can see here it is showing us the first part, which is this amount. Now I can create second section, and this section will also take one header. You can see here it has this header which is number of people. So let's do that, header, and I will pass text in the header, and I will call it as number of people. Then inside my this section I will create one again text field, then no need to give any placeholder, we can directly pass the value, that is my number of people. And again for this also we need to give the keyboard type which is decimal pad. Okay, so now we have this second section also ready. Now let's create the third section, which is this picker view, and it has some header title, how much tip do you want to leave. So let's create that section with header. In header we have to pass the text as how much tip do you want to leave, and then inside this we need to create a picker to give user different options. So we will say here tip selection, and now after this we need to pass the selection, and here I can pass the actual value of the tip percentage, and now inside this I can pass the array which we have created at the top of the different tips, which is this, using the for each loop. So let me just move up a little bit. Okay, for each it will go from 0 to less than tip percentages dot count, and then inside this we will just display the text like this, and we will say that here using the string interpolation I will say self dot tip percentages and display the current value, which is like this $0, which will display one value at a time. So now we have displayed it here, and you can see that it has created, if I run here, this has created a picker view which is actually opening in the new screen, but we don't want like this. We want a picker view which is displaying here only, so we need to change the style of our picker view. So for that I can say something like this, dot picker style, will say segmented picker style. By writing this it will change it, this view. You can see now it is changing, and by default it is selecting the second because we have passed this value here. Okay, so our third section is also ready. Now we can create our fourth section, which is section, actually this is, we need two more, total amount and amount per person. So let's create that, this header, and I will say text, and it will have the text as, let me just check, total amount for the check, total amount for the check. And now in this we have to display only the text. So I will say here text, then I will write a $sign, and then I will use string interpolation. Inside this I will display total amount, and here I can give some specifier which is basically converting that from float. So I will say here percentage dot to f. Okay, now this is there. Now you can see here it is reflecting. By writing this it will give only 2 decimal points after this, and now I need to give it a foreground color which is depending on the tip value. So if tip percentage is equal to let's say 4, means 0 1 2 3 4 means 0. If it is 0, then we have to give the red color, else that is colon, we have to give the dot black, which is normal color. So if I select here 0, it will turn red. Okay, so now we have this section also ready. Let's copy this for the last section, and in this we don't need any foreground color, so let's remove that part. And here the title is amount per person, so let's write that here. And inside this we need to do the calculation, and here we no calculation, actually we have to display the total per person value, and again this is same. So this is total per person, and we don't need this $sign, so remove that. Okay, or we can give $sign also, we need to show amount only. So this is the complete app. Also we need to give the navigation title, which is here as b split, so let's give that. So this is our view. So below this we can give dot navigation title, and I will say here we split. You can see it is reflecting here. Now we can compare the actual app. So this is running on iPhone 11, so I will run the new one on the iPhone SE, and you can see it is working fine or not. Okay, so it's running here. Okay, it's running now. Let's see. We'll try the same example 1002 and let's see how it is working fine or not. Sometimes this takes time to load. Okay, now it's loading. We can write our actual amount, which is 1000, and you can see here it is working fine. Let's give the 0 tip, and it is turning the color into red, and you can see it is working fine. The calculation is also correct for 2%. So that's all guys for today's video. I hope you have learned something new and you have liked this video. So if you have liked this video, make sure you hit the like button, and to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel where I post daily videos on SwiftUI. Whatever I learn, I try to share that with the community. Also for today's video, you can check out my this GitHub profile where you will get the code for today's video, or all the videos which I'm creating. For the code for those videos you will get from here. And also you can follow me on this Instagram channel where I post my daily video updates, so that you will not miss any video in the future. And also you can follow me on Twitter where I try to share whatever I find useful. I will retweet that here so that you can stay updated with the latest trending things going inside iOS world. So that's all guys for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.